Day 12, we'll take another look at loans and investments. So the question is, what did you come up with for a monthly car payment? And in class, we'll talk about what was that payment to pay off that car loan with that interest rate in exactly 60 months. It says there's a program that people in finance use to make this calculation. So you guys have your number that you could have gotten by guess and check, but we're going to take a look at how they can actually use this program to figure out that number without doing all the guess and check like we did and making that spreadsheet to figure out the calculation in 60 months. So there's the program, it's in our calculator, it looks like this. N is the number of payments we want to be made. So with the car loan, we talked about how that was for 5 years. So for N, we'll say 5 years, 5 times 12, that's going to be 60 months that we want to pay off the car loan. The interest rate for that car, and I forgot already, so let's go back. The interest rate was right here at 3.9% compounded monthly, and we can leave that as the actual rate. The loan amount, that car was $22,000. We don't need the payment. We're going to try to figure that out, so we're going to leave it blank. The future value we want to owe is $0. We want to pay it off, and payments per year is 12. Okay, so all of that is right here. It explains what everything means. So let's actually calculate, use our solver to figure out what is that monthly payment to pay off our car in exactly 60 months. Okay, so I'm going to show you on the calculator. So you can open up a Scratchpad page or a calculator page and hit Menu, Finance, and this Finance Solver. And again was the number of payments, and that's 60 months for our car loan. And then you have to hit Tab on your calculator to go down to the next one. And so it was 3.9% for our interest rate. Tab again, our payment value was $22,000 for the car. Hit Tab again. We're going to skip over payment, we don't know it yet. Future value should be 0, 12 payments per year. And then you have to kind of use your scroll wheel and go back up to payment, and then you can hit Enter. So if you got this number, it's $404.17. That's the actual car payment that you would have to make in order to pay off the car in exactly 60 months. Okay, so now let's use that information and put it here. It says, what did you actually pay for the car using the monthly payment? Okay, so let's just assume right here that we paid $404.17 for the car. And we paid this off in 60 installments. And so that's a total of $24,250.20. And then remember how much our car was worth? It was only worth $22,000. So let's figure out just what did we pay the bank for this car loan? And so the bank, if we subtract this, the bank made about $2,250.20 off of us just for borrowing that money, which, for some people that's a lot of money. For some people, not so much. So today we're going to talk about an even bigger investment, and that is a house payment, like paying off a house. How much does the bank make off of a house? We can see off a car, it's a little over $2,000 for this type of car, but what about for a house? How much does the bank make off of a mortgage? So in order to do that, I just want to give you a little context on like what different careers earn. These are just starting wages, the median starting wage, so the middle starting range. If you choose to do something in architecture and engineering, the median or the middle starting wage is about $50,000. Computer stats and mathematics, about $43,000. That might be up now. I can't remember when I took this data a few years ago. Health, $41,000. Business, $37,000. Social sciences, $33,000. All majors, just the median starting value, $33,000. You can see a bunch of other fields here. If you are a high school graduate, you can expect a median yearly salary of $22,000. Okay, so with that in mind, like how much these make, we're going to take a look at what I like to play around with is an affordability calculator, like how much of a house can you afford? So let's say you made $65,000, you don't owe any money for loans or anything, and you can make a $20,000 down payment. You can afford a house that is about $324,953. So they have these calculators to help you figure out what can you afford. So again, with that in mind, we're going to take a look at this housing investigation. You plan to borrow $320,000 to purchase a new home. The investment must be paid off in 30 years or 360 months. The bank charges an annual interest rate of $4 compounded monthly. All right, so right here, in class we'll tour the house, right? I'll click on the link, we'll take a look at it. But here's like an average house in St. Louis Park, and $320,000, about a median house price in St. Louis Park. It might be higher now with the housing market. But let's figure out, all right, could we afford this house? How much is a monthly payment? What kind of job would we have to have? So again, using the finance solver, and as the number of payments, this time, when you take out a mortgage, it's a 30-year loan that you have 30 years to pay it off. And so 30 times 12, because there's 12 months in a year and you pay monthly, will give us 360 payments that we have to make over the lifetime of the loan. The interest rate of this particular loan is about 4%. The loan amount is that $320,000. We don't need the payment. We don't know the payment. Future value is 0, and 12 payments per year. Let's figure out what's the monthly cost of this house. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust here. Again, to get to this window, if you're on Scratchpad, you just go to, let me escape out of this, menu, and it's under Finance and Finance Solver. This time 360 months, hit Tab to get to the next, and Tab is right here. Our loan rate was 4%. The loan amount is bigger, $320,000. I'm going to tab over this. The future value, I wonder if I can just delete this and then tab. Future value 0 and then 12. Okay, so now we have to like scroll back upward, like click on here and then hit enter, and we can see our monthly payment. We'd have to pay monthly $1,527.73. Okay, so I'm going to write down our monthly payment. And let me pop it up here so you can see it. All right, monthly payment, $1,527.73. Can we write the recursive formula that represents the mortgage over time? Sure we can. Our starting value of the loan is $320,000. To figure out the amount that we owe after a certain number of months, you take the amount that you owe the month before, and we add our interest rate, our 4%, but monthly. But then we're going to subtract our monthly payment. Okay, so this is a shifted geometric sequence. You could program it into your calculator and see how much you would still owe on the house after each month. And again, our monthly payment was $1,527.73. What do you actually pay for this house? Okay, so again, here's our monthly payment. We're paying it for 360 months. So let's type that into the calculator and see what that is. So I'll hit escape to get out of here. 1,527.73 times our 30-year mortgage. Look at what we're paying for this house. It's a huge number. $500, so over $500,000 for this house that costs $320,000. Like the bank is making a lot of money off of us, almost double the amount. All right, so how much money did the bank make from you? We'll subtract. And if we subtract that, we get this enormous amount that the bank is making off of us just for charging us interest. And this is just one house. I mean, it is granted over 30 years, but still, this is a lot of money the bank is making. A household is considered cost burden when 30% or more of its monthly gross income is dedicated to the housing payment. Based on your monthly payment, how much would you have to make every month so that only 30% is going towards your house and the rest you can use for other bills and for groceries and other things so that you're not considered cost burden? So again, what we're trying to figure out is 30%, if I change that to a decimal, of some number. Our salary, 30% times X, is this monthly payment of $1,527.73. We want this to be 30% of our monthly payment. So to get X by itself, we can divide by 0.3. And then we can figure out our monthly payment. So let's type that in. 1527.73 divided by 0.3, not 0.03. Whoa, type too many things here. All right. This is what your monthly, I'm going to write it down here. Monthly. This is how much you would have to make per month. $5,092. No, $5,092.43 so that you're not cost burdened, so you can afford your house plus other things to have a good lifestyle. What would your annual gross income? So what's your annual salary? Well, we're going to multiply our 5,092 times 12, and I guess I should have put the 0.43. Should we be more specific? I guess we can do that. So this was 0.43. So let's multiply that by 12 for annual, and if we do that, our annual salary needs to be about $61,109.20. So again, if we look back at the chart, like the median, the middle average salary of people coming out of high school is only $22,000. You can't afford this house in St. Louis Park. Maybe an apartment, or maybe if you get a roommate. And again, a lot of these jobs right here, you would need a roommate to buy this house starting out if you didn't want to be cost burdened, if you wanted to have money left over to pay for other things. So you can see that, you know, houses are pretty expensive and you'd want to find a good job. To do that, you need a good education. So now let's take a look at our goal for today. Question, does 0.5% or 1% make that much of a difference in mortgage payments? So in class, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign you an interest rate. Let's say that you were approved for a 4.5% loan or a 5.5% or a 6.5% loan. How much money do you save if you can pay 0.5% less or even a full percent less than what other people are paying? And they base this on many things, the market, your credit score, and so on. So if you're paying 1% more than someone over the lifetime of a loan, how much more are you really paying? So what you're going to do is you're just going to go through these steps again. Right here, accept with a new interest rate. And we'll do this in class right here. And it's going to change your monthly payment. And then you're just going to recalculate these numbers right here, just like we did, except you have different numbers. How much more is everything? So, and I actually did that so I can put these numbers up. I went through and recalculated everything. And if you took out a loan, and let's make this bigger now. And let's say that you were approved for a 4.5% loan. How does that change everything? Now your monthly payment instead of $1,500 is $1,621.39. Whoops. The total amount then would be $583,000 for this house. Your monthly payment, the monthly salary you would have to make to not be cost burden, you'd have to make $5,404 a month. And your average salary then would be $64,000, $65,000. If it was 1% more than this, look at how much it goes up. Now you're paying $1,717.83. Your total payment of the house is $618,419. That's a huge amount. How much you'd have to make per month to afford this is $5,726.10, which means you'd have to pull in $68,713.20. You'd need a roommate unless you had like a high-paying job. And what if your housing payment was approved at a 6.5% mortgage rate? Now look at your numbers. You'd have to be making $72,000 to afford this house if you had a 6.5% interest rate. So we can see that even though it's 1% or 0.5%, over the lifetime of the loan, it does make a huge difference because you're compounding this every month. All right, so your assignment is review. There's one problem you'll need the calculator for, but the rest you can do without. So you're going to finish up to page 43.